What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and today we are reviewing the little Octopus Kraken field watch. So this was kindly provided by them to review on the channel. Doesn't have to go back, but you guys know that's not going to change my opinion. So let's get all the sizes out of the way, and then we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about what I like and what I don't like about this watch. So this one is 35.9mm diameter, so sub 36mm. Really good for us guys with slim wrists. 38.8 including the crown. It's 12.8mm thick, and that goes up to 14.7 on the included NATO strap that I have. A very nice 18mm lug width, so I'm so glad it's not 19. And it's 43.2 lug to lug, so this is a very compact one. 58 gram on the supplied NATO. Bead blasted case, which is 316L stainless steel. Screw down crown, screw down case back, and we have a double domed sapphire crystal with no AR coating. 100 meters of water resistance, which is always nice to see on watches like this. So taking a look at the watch, and firstly you can see that crystal and just look at the dome on it. So this is double dome and it just looks absolutely awesome. I just love how it distorts the dial. Now these don't distort as good as acrylic crystals, but you do still get a nice bit of dial play and distortion from it. And of course sapphire is a little bit more premium, and it's more durable than mineral and acrylic. Moving in on that dial, and we have a train track, minute track, which is printed in white, and then we have these faux patinaed markings all the way around every 5 minutes. Moving in, you can see we have some printed indices, and these are done again in that faux patina old radium style, and I think it works really well with the watch. I just love how it plays nicely with the green, and it all works to create sort of a vintage aesthetic. So there's no branding on this watch whatsoever, apart from a small a small arrow above the 6 o'clock. And I believe this arrow is something to do with the British military. Well, I don't really know much about military history, but I did a bit of research and I found that quite a few old British field watches do have that symbol on it. So maybe you guys can tell me what it actually referenced to, but yeah, a lot of watches I've seen do have that symbol, and this one does have it as well. So I'm presuming it's modelled after an old British military issued field watch, which I think is very nice. To that dial next, and I just love that shade of green. It's a really classic and old school looking green, and I just think it works perfectly with the white and of course the faux patina. The handset is very simple, fence post style with that faux patina loom in the centres, white border, and then we've got these black portions towards the pinion in the centre. Second hand is very slender, very slim, and has a small rounded arrowhead on the counterbalance. That is pretty much it really. It's a really simple, no date, which I love, field watch, and it's definitely got some old school vibes coming from it. Side profile, you can see it is a curvy one, so we do have a really nice curved mid case, and those lugs do drop down nicely, but you can see we do have quite a thick lower case with the case back as well. That's where quite a bit of your thickness comes from, and also that double dome crystal does add quite a bit to the thickness of this watch as well. Moving on to this side, you can see we have a very small crown, nice knurling on it, unsigned. So yeah, this is definitely a nice sterile looking watch. Quick look at that case back, and you can see it is screw down, and there is no branding. Again, all sterile, but I do like that they've kept where you actually adjust it to unscrew it, brushed and not high polished, because that means it's a little bit easier to fix if it does get scratched, if you do have to take the case back off. But I do like this radial brush finish, and it's definitely better than high polish in my opinion. So that's pretty much all the case covered. Let's talk movement. So this is packing an NH38, which is essentially a no-date version of the NH35 and NH36. So it's got entirely the same specifications. So 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, 41 hour power reserve, hacking, hand winding, auto manual wind, and of course the little Seiko shuffle, -20 to +40 per day, but usually they run a lot better than that. Unfortunately, I don't have a time grapher to get an accurate time on that. But the Seiko movement feels absolutely fine. Got no issues with it. What I do have issue with though is this, the crown. It's very, very small. I mean, yes, the grip is pretty good, but it's tiny. So that means if you've got big fingers, then you're going to probably struggle with this one. It is screwed down though, you just have to pull it out once, which is nice. No pulling it out twice because there's no ghost date position. And then you can adjust it. But what I don't like though is the crown and stem arrangement. It's just, it doesn't feel all that reassuring when I'm using it. Now I've had a lot of Seiko movements, and this one, the movement itself feels fine, nothing wrong with that. It's just here, it's just not inspiring any confidence. Now I'm not sure whether this is just a one-off or whether other people have had this issue, but I don't know, it's just something about this just doesn't feel quite right. And then to screw it back in, you have to do that. And what I have noticed as well is unscrewing it can be a bit of an issue sometimes as well. Sometimes it catches, sometimes it doesn't. And it also feels a little bit sort of grating as well, which is when you're unwinding it, it's got this like grating feedback to it, which is the first time I've ever experienced that. So I'm thinking it's more to do with the crown and stem arrangement rather than the movement itself, because the movement, once you're actually winding it, feels absolutely fine. So that's one little tiny issue I'm having with this watch. So moving on to my next issue with this watch, and that is the NATO strap. Now, first of all, I do love the matching hardware. So you can see we have a stainless steel buckle with a bead blasted finish to match the case. Very nice. It is quite a fragile finish, so I have noticed I've picked up a couple of little dings as I've been wearing it daily. Matching hardware again there, always appreciate that. And again, you can see there, all good quality hardware, no complaints. The strap material is actually really nice as well. We've got this like ribbed effect. It's quite a shallow one though. I've seen some newer ones with like a deeper ridged effect, but this is quite nice. The material's nice, it's soft, plenty flexible. My only issue is that it's starting to come apart. Now I've only had this watch just over a week. I've wore it pretty much daily, and it really shouldn't be falling apart like that after a week. I mean, you can see the rest of them that I haven't used are fine, they're perfectly intact. The one that I do use though is coming apart. Now, if this strap was a few months old, I'd be a little bit more forgiving, but after a week, that's just not good enough. Now, luckily, straps are very easy to replace. I mean, basically, you eBay, AliExpress, Amazon, you can find NATO straps all day long. But this really shouldn't be happening, especially when I tell you the price point of the watch as well. You can also see, we're starting to get little frayed edges. So yeah, the strap is really comfortable, really nice feeling material. It's just not very well made in this department. The hardware, it's fine, got no issue with that. The strap though, yeah. Anyway, let's move past that and talk about comfort. So let's get this on wrist. Alright guys, so here it is on wrist. So dimensions again, we've got 35.9 and 43.2 lug to lug, which is very, very nice. So if you guys like small watches, this is definitely going to be up your alley. And if you've actually got a slimmer wrist than myself, so probably down to, I would say, like just over 5 inches, I think this would probably fit you as well. Really compact lug to lug, really small diameter. I think it's definitely giving some vintage vibes with the dimensions and of course the styling. But yeah, I just think it looks really nice on wrist. Definitely one for you guys and us guys with slimmer wrists. You guys with thicker wrists, I mean, you probably could wear it and it would be nice, but is it going to be a little bit too small? It depends on your personal preference. You might really like compact and small vintage dimension watches. Then again, you might not. All personal preference. I think it suits me absolutely perfectly. It's just a really nice spot on size. Comfort, cannot fault it. I've already mentioned that strap is really comfortable. You can see it does obviously ride a little bit high because of the NATO and just NATO's style in general. You can't really get past that unless you go for a single pass. I would probably put this on I would say probably a leather strap would look pretty nice. Like a nice vintage leather style. And that would reduce the bulk, because obviously this is quite a thick watch because of that really heavily domed crystal. And of course the protruding case back as well. Really comfortable though, very, very lightweight as well. I mean, it's only a 58 gram watch. It feels like just as light as, you know, some titanium watches, which is crazy to, you know, say it's stainless steel. But yeah, really, really comfortable watch. It's one of them ones, you know, you can pretty much put on and forget that you're wearing. It is that comfortable. You can see I've got one adjustment hole left. So if you do have slimmer wrists than me, you're probably going to want to swap it out for a strap that does fit you. But yeah, I think this one could be a pretty good one. Probably browns, blacks would suit this one quite well. With it being green, I think they would be a, you know, nice combination. But yeah, can't fault it in terms of comfort. Right guys, to the verdict. So this one is £134. And you know what? I think that is fair. It's not an amazing price. It's not the deal of the century. But I think it's a very fair price. I mean, you're getting an NH38, which surprisingly is a little bit more expensive than the 36 and 35. Okay, that's fair enough. So that does incur a little bit of cost. The build quality of the watch is absolutely fantastic. I love the styling of it. Compact, lightweight, really, really comfortable on the strap. My only complaint, like I said, is the weird issue I'm having with the crown. But of course, I don't think that's going to be a common issue for every single one of these watches. I will reach out to Octopus Kraken and see, you know, what's going on there, because they might, you know, be aware of it, or, you know, they might not be. I don't really know. It might just be one of those issues that's just, you know, isolated. I do seem to get quite unfortunate with my watches from AliExpress, to be fair. I've had quite a few with QC issues that not many other people do get. A little bit irritating, but it's just my luck, unfortunately. So one suggestion I would make to Octopus Kraken, pick a better NATO, is what I'm saying. Or maybe even include it for the price point too, maybe a leather and a NATO. So you've got a bit of variety and a bit of choice. But yeah, definitely speak to the supplier about these, because it could be improved in terms of build quality. Comfort, fantastic. Really good water resistance as well for a field watch, 100 meters. So it's got all the right ingredients, but something's just gone a little bit wrong when it comes to actually baking it. Really terrible analogy, I know, but it's just whatever coming to my head at the minute. But yeah, fair value watch. Link will be in the description if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. And of course, follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.